Hi guys, happy baby name Monday. Welcome to my channel. There is a new baby name list on my video every single Monday on my channel. And last week I said that whatever request got the most likes is the one I would film the week after. So I've kind of flung the control over to you guys for the next few weeks, and so far you're making it very hard for me because this week's name list is twin names. So just a huge name fest. I've been researching so much. I have so many amazing names for girl twins, boy twins, boy twins, and I just can't wait to share them with you. I've also looked into like what mistakes not to fall into if you're naming twins and sort of best ideas for how to do it. So if you are expecting twins or multiples, massive congratulations. If you are a twin or you've got twins, then let us know their names in the comment section below. And this was perfect timing because my lovely friend Lucy, who has the channel Lucy Jessica Carter, has just announced that she is having twins. They're going to be her third and fourth baby. She's already got 2 little boys. And yeah, I'm just so excited for her. So hopefully throughout her pregnancy I will get down to see Lucy and maybe we can do a video together on ideas for her twins. So let me know if you'd like to see that video. Put hashtag Carter Twins below, and hopefully Lucy, I will pop round soon and see you and the gorgeous boys and we can have a name chat. So let's get on with the list that I've put together, and also some challenges for you guys, because I thought you kind of stitched me up with these difficult challenges. So throughout this name list, I'm going to be flinging some names out to you guys to come up with some twin ideas as well. So it should be really good fun this week. So I was having a look firstly at kind of like how to name twins, because first of all you sort of go, oh, I'll do matchy names or names with the same initials, which is lovely. I've got 2 boys with the same initial names and they really wanted their third baby, our third baby, to have their same initial as well, but we loved another name. So it is a really lovely way of children and siblings feeling bonded. However, advice that I was reading online about twins or multiples was that try to avoid the similar sounding names or the too matchy names, because it's really important for twins to feel like they have their own identity, and apparently having very matchy names can make the twins feel interchangeable with each other. So I thought that was a really interesting thought as I went into the name list. But twins of course do have like a special connection and a special bond, which has always fascinated me, particularly identical twins. It's just crazy how people can look so similar and have different lives, different personalities, but always have that unique special bond. So I think that thinking of the names as a pair, of course you're going to do that naturally anyway, and the names should kind of hang together nicely and I think roll together nicely. And it's also really important that they work both ways, so it doesn't become kind of like a lead name. So if you think about Ant and Dec, who are like our top Saturday night TV presenters here, they're always called Ant and Dec, and if you say Dec and Ant, it doesn't sound quite right. It sounds a bit like the word decadent. So it is really nice to think about the names both ways, so it sounds really lovely however you choose to name your little twinnies. Another top tip I read for naming twins, which is an interesting one, let me know what you think of this, was to try to maybe avoid using family names, because family names are kind of, then you've got a ranking or a competition. So if you had 2 grandparents' names, for example, they could be like, oh, this is my twin or that's my twin, or it might just be a little family throwaway joke that they make, but they were saying it can get quite difficult when you've got twins and you're really looking at ensuring that they have their own identity and are equally known and loved, as we would with all of our children, to pick family names. Family names are tough anyway, aren't they? They are really complicated. And the other piece of advice I was reading about was to try and keep it as even as possible in terms of kind of style of the name. So if one twin has a really long and beautiful and elegant name and the other one has a sort of short nicknamey name, it might become that they like each other's names more than their own, or that it sort of has a strong personality attached, different personality traits with each one. So to try and think, if we're going to have vintage theme or if we're going to have a modern theme, if we're going to go with a long syllable theme, and just be as equal as possible with the name. So my first set of names are all names that share a strong letter sound within them, but don't all start with the same letter. So I think this is definitely a great way of naming twins, so that they have all those good stuff that we talked about the rhythm and flow. And to show you these names, I've actually pinched them from my favourite twins around the world, so twins that I know. So my lovely online friend who lives in Cornwall, she has Margot and Dot, 2 little girls, and I loved those names together so much. Margot and Dot, just absolutely lovely. They're both strong vintage names, but they have that same O sound without being matchy, and they sound nice both ways. Dot and Margot, Margot and Dot. Yeah, I've always loved your names, you know that strong O. a strong tea blend for boys, you could have something like Ted and Monty. I really love those names together, and I think that strong tea, while the names sound so individual and unique, they are linked and they blend well together. So if you're looking to try and blend the names or names combination isn't sounding quite right, it might be that the sounds aren't matching as much. So try to get a letter that you like that's in the middle there. So a combination I love for girls would be something like Juniper and Olive. So they have that E, that I sound, I mean. So I really love the name Juniper. You know, it's one of my favorites. So I was like, what would I twin Juniper with? And Olive is strange because it's not one of my all-time favorite names. However, Juniper and Olive to me sounds so lovely together. And they've got that kind of nature theme going with it as well. So I loved those. Or I wrote down Connie and Frank. So for boy-girl twins, they both have the strong K sound. One's obviously a C and one is a K. So you can see how I think all those names blend really nicely. Thinking about that strong sound somewhere within the name flow is really going to help you get two unique names that sound beautiful together. So your challenge is a really tough one. I want you to write girl twin and boy twin name suggestions for a baby girl named Delilah. So I chose Delilah because I love the name Delilah, but also because it has lots of strong sounds that you could go with. So you could use the D, you could use the L, or you could use the R, like the sounding at the end, and try and blend who would a twin girl name match Delilah, and what boy name would make a perfect twin brother for Delilah. Let me know in the comments below. And there's a few more of these coming up, so if you want to come back and do them all together at the end, you can. So theme names are super popular for twins, and again I think this is something that is really lovely way of linking your siblings, whether they're twins or not. But a very popular one in the past and what came up on a lot of twin forums was modern virtue names. So remember, like things like Hope and Grace, or Joy and Felicity, and you kind of end up with these kind of very strong blends of names. Works really well for girls. But virtue names are a little bit harder for boys. There are less of them that are out there and as well known as there are for girls. It was a very popular way of naming babies before. But a couple that I really like the name Sage for boy or girl, but I really like it for a boy, and it obviously means wise. And I thought that Verity and Sage sound like beautiful boy-girl twins, don't they? Verity and Sage. They would just be like little heavenly names to use. But what I was thinking with the theme thing is to be a bit more modern about it and a bit more subtle about it. You can also use names that are linked through meaning. So that's such a beautiful way of naming twins. So I thought about, what about names that mean friendship? Because twins are going to have this special bond, this special friendship. And you can pick beautiful names. You can pick a feeling like friendship, like love, like something that really means something to you and your family. Maybe it's hope. Maybe these are long-awaited twins that you've had through IVF, and then look through and find names that mean that virtue. So for example, with friendship, you could have something like Auden for a boy and Cara for a girl. So Auden and Cara both mean friendship. Love, of course, is a beautiful meaning for any baby, and there's so many names out there that mean love. I wrote down Davis and Esme as a little boy-girl twin. Davis and Esme, got Esme and Davis. I just think they sound adorable together with a lovely S sound as well. I wrote down Mably and Cordelia. I just love those names together, Mably and Cordelia. That is amazing. Mably is such a beautiful but rare name, but it means lovable in Welsh. And Cordelia is also quite rare, but with Ophelia coming up through the ranks, Cordelia is another really cool one to look for, and it means heart, and it's also derived from Welsh. So Mably and Cordelia, two little hearts, and imagine how beautiful it would be. Like on their birthdays, they could always have little heart dresses. I really want twins now. So for you guys, I have chosen the boy name Jed. So it's quite a hard one. So I want you to write in the comment section below a boy twin name that goes with Jed and a girl twin name that goes with Jed. So the reason I've used Jed is it's really modern and strong. It also has this lovely meaning where it means beloved friend. So continuing those friendship name meanings, or love, because it's beloved and friend. And it comes from a longer Hebrew name, which is Jebediah. So you also have the long form you can play with if you really want to, or go for those sort of nickname strong names as well. So yes, your challenge is boy-girl twin names for a brother Jed. Nature names is another great way of linking any siblings together. As we just talked about, nature is another great one. You've probably heard of flower names being used a lot, and I feel like I've had lots of twins like Lily and Rose, and they work really, really well because it's such a strong theme that everyone can recognise, but they're very different sounding names. And it's such a lovely way of doing it, and you can pick bang on trend modern flower names as well, and nature names. I've got a few of those, or you can keep it vintage. You can also work this for boys. So William is a beautiful vintage name that is actually a floral name. So you could have boy girls like Marigold and William, which I think sound absolutely lovely together, and that would both be linked with the flower theme. So you could go with trees for boys if flowers is a bit too feminine. So you could go with something really modern like Asher and Oakley, which are both tree names and sound really cool together and not too matchy but sound really lovely. And again, you've got that strong theme that links the two boys, their roots underground, linked together forever. Herbs is another really modern way of kind of nature, and I've written down saffron and clover for girls, which I think is absolutely lovely. Saffron and clover. Maybe they sound a bit like rabbits. That's okay, I like rabbits. For boys, botanical trend is massive and I really like it. So you're going a bit more structural or a bit more outdoorsy. So you could have names like Forest and Leaf for boys. I love those names together. Forest is coming back with a boom. It's really popular again at the moment. Leif has got that Scandi vibe to it, but has that nature outdoorsy feeling as well. So I think Forest and Leif are really lovely together. So just showing how you don't have to be so matchy while having that strong theme that links them. Animals is another big trend. I was looking at how could we use animals, and I think it would be a lot to have like a fox and a bear, you know. That might become their nicknames, but it's a lot for the name trend to work for twins. However, you can have a look at names that mean something to do with the animal, which I think would be such a lovely way of linking your children again. So I found beautiful names that mean dove. So you could have Jemima and Callum. Those names sound beautiful together with that M. Beautiful. I literally love them for boy-girl twins, but they both mean dove, which nobody would really know apart from you guys, and it's just a lovely way again of having that background link. I found a beautiful combination for this as well, which could be Aspen and Waverley. So Aspen is a really popular name for boys and girls, and Waverley is the same, even though Waverley is much more feminine to me. But Waverley actually means a meadow full of aspen trees. So how lovely is that? I just can't believe that. Yeah, a meadow full of aspens. So Aspen and Waverley, oh, they're just such stunning names, and little gems like that that you can find when you're researching name meanings is a great way to approach, starting with the meaning and then looking through all the lists and linking two names together. Things like Star, Aster and Seren, they both mean star, and Aster and Seren sound so lovely together, but not everyone would know, but you would have that lovely link that means something to you, and they're your little stars, and you can decorate, as I said, for the star themes coming through, and it's a really lovely way of doing it. I got really excited about doing this. You can also link through the season. So looking at seasonal names is something that I always do, like throughout the year. I do like seasonal baby name lists, as you know. So I was looking at winter babies because Lucy's baby twins are due in December. So I thought I would start with that. I don't know if these are all perfect for Lucy and her family, but I think winter has got some beautiful names attached to it. It's one of my favourite seasons for names and in the world. So you could have something like Cole and Ivy, which are both really strongly linked to winter, but lovely names and quite different to each other, but very strongly evocative of when they were born. Lumi and Neve for two little girls. Both those names mean snow in different languages, so that's again a beautiful one. Or something like Tansy and Indigo. So Tanzanite is the birthstone for December. So you could have Tansy for a girl, Indigo for a boy or girl, and Indigo is the colour of the Tanzanite stone. So yeah, there's lots of lovely ways of picking twin names, and I think that it's just such a fun list, and thank you for challenging me to do it. So your last challenge is to think about these meanings. I've picked the name Blythe. So Blythe is a unisex name for boys or girls. It means carefree. So you could also look around twin combinations for Blythe that mean carefree or happy, which would be one way to go. However, it's also a very vintage name and a very Puritan name, so you could link it with any other virtue name if you wanted to. Or it's a surname name as well, so Gilbert Blythe from Anne of Green Gables. With some of us are a little bit geeky here on this channel, aren't we? We do love it. Imagine having Blythe and Anne. You could do surname names with it, like a Blythe and Harrison or something like that. So yeah, go crazy with Blythe and let me know what would you pick for a twin sibling for a baby called Blythe. Thank you so much again for the challenge. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been very very different. It's been a bit unusual, but I've loved thinking of combinations. I can't wait to hear from you and read all your messages in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I've actually got some really exciting things coming up soon, like my own brand new baby name forum where we can talk baby names all day, but I will be announcing that soon. Maybe I shouldn't have said yet, but that is a big announcement that is coming soon. So we're going to have a real good online space for us all to keep building the community, and I'll be hanging out there live all the time so we can chat a bit more. And don't forget to leave another list that you would like to see in the comment section below. Again, the most liked I will do next week, and we'll do this and see how this goes for the next few weeks. If you already left a request last week, you can leave it again and I will look back and see was it really popular last week and it's really popular again and all that good stuff. So do keep leaving them. Lots of love everybody, and I will see you on Wednesday for another video. Bye guys.